today's podcast, we're going to be going through some dietary information. I guess what Marsha has been eating, what diet change she's going to be changing to, I guess what she's going to be doing upcoming to her, hopefully her surgery soon. So what food have you been eating, I guess, over the time that you've had rheumatoid arthritis? What food have you been eating? And obviously that hasn't helped too much, has it, the diet that you've kind of been on?
Well, yes, thanks to my mental health, yes. I'm kind of like, I go from really healthy to a complete junko, you know.
Yeah.
And I might last doing that for a while, and then I'm sort of, you know, sometimes I'm really healthy and other times I'm...
What is an idea of the junk food you eat at the moment?
Well, probably not over the last 2 weeks, because I've been trying to reduce processed foods like chips, you know, popcorn, biscuits, things that are easy to get hold of.
Yes.
Probably, like, because that's what I'm doing, you know, like if I'm feeling tired and run down, you know, I'm feeling like that, I'm inclined to grab something easy.
Something, yeah.
You know, so, yeah, and probably I was drinking Pepsi Max as well. I've been drinking that for...
Soft drinks, yep.
Yeah. I mean, probably mostly, you know, I might have been only having one a day, but, you know, obviously it's probably not good either. You know. But, you know, it was it was funny. It was something that I had to look forward to, you know. It's pretty bad when
well, who doesn't look forward to junk food?
The only thing you got look... I feel like, you know, it was something to look forward to. You know, my Pepsi Max and my chips, you know, like...
Obviously, yeah, eating healthy is a challenge for everyone.
Yeah, like, you know, it sounds silly, but it's, you know, that's the way your mind works sometimes.
So you haven't really stuck to a particular diet you've that strongly, I guess.
No.
Yeah.
No, I've just kind of gone in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
Probably, you know, well, I suppose it's probably to do with mental health. It's to do with life. It's to do with, you know, all the stuff that's going on in your life. Just, you know,
it's hard to stick to that routine.
It's hard for me to maintain consistency, and I've really been thinking about what my hurdles are going to be for that. Like, what can I do to, you know, change my life or do something to
be more dedicated to your diet.
Yeah, be more consistent. And when it really leads back to it's really being able to focus on myself.
Yes.
So, you know, I notice on the days where I'm kind of, there's nothing else happening, I can just think of myself, you know, I can do a food diary, I can do things, you know, probably prepare food when I can do it slowly, because it's not, you know, I'm not like I used to be, you know, where my hands were good, where I could just whip something up in 5 minutes, you know.
Yeah, so you can't be preparing you know, if you wanted to make a healthy snack, sometimes it's hard now because of your hand mobility.
Yeah. So, you know, I was avoiding that. So to counteract that a little bit, I find I was doing that because there was other stuff going on, and I had to be there, I had to be here, or, you know, I was kind of, so I've kind of put a stop on, you know, like, this is, I've got to think about me, because things, you know, are getting pretty severe. Yeah, you got to focus on yourself at this point. And now, obviously, you're implicating this new diet that you've got to stick to for about 30 days. Is that correct? Like, to see some results, I guess you'd have to be doing it for 30 days. Yeah. And well, at least. I mean, I would say probably, you know, 3 to 6 months, really. See, proper results. But you should start to feel some effect, hopefully within 1 month, hopefully. You can tell sometimes just by eating different foods, you know, but you can't really pinpoint. It's very hard to pinpoint, is that's what's making me sore? Yeah. Is that what's making me sore? Because, you know, I do notice sometimes if I've been eating healthy a little bit, and then I do have something not so healthy, but it might not happen till a day or two later. So, you know, Was that it, or are you, are you just more flared today than what you were yesterday? Like it's a bit hard to
Yeah, you
say.
have to stick to it a bit longer to really see if it is working for you.
Yeah, so what I've been doing over the last few weeks is probably just trying to, like get into a bit of a routine, trying to reduce all, the different foods, like probably processed food, caffeine, soft drink, anything that's probably going to be sugar, anything that's probably would be irritating me. So I don't have...
gotten rid of, so you've gotten rid of the junk food basically, and now you're starting on a more healthier diet. And what kind of foods have you been making, I guess, lately, and how do you prep? I guess, how are you organising for your diet so everyone else can kind of try and follow maybe the same schedule or routine?
Well,
because I thought you said you pre-package, like you do like a make them all up one day and then like freeze them. Like, is that the kind of schedule you're going at the moment?
Yeah, I find that works. Like probably what I'm, I think I had to have a diet that obviously was easy to prepare. With foods that I can access easily from the supermarkets and that as well as supplements. Like fish oils, calcium, digestive enzymes, all those. But I didn't go and buy all the supplements at once because financially it was, that's not in my budget. So I just started buying one bottle of supplements every fortnight. So,
what supplements are those? Like your fish oil and what else?
Yeah, fish oil, calcium, and vitamin D, because I don't get out in the sun a lot. And because the diet's I'm not going to have as much calcium. Well, I have calcium with other foods. I probably get a lot of calcium with other foods, but I'm cutting out pretty much mostly dairy. So
okay. So what foods should you cut out with rheumatoid arthritis? Like, what foods should you really be avoiding?
Well, from what I've probably read over the years, like your red meats, your dairy, processed foods, sugar,
pretty much all
a lot of people say, like gluten. Like a lot of people say, because a lot of my stuff is pretty much like what I eat is going to be mostly pretty much gluten-free, pretty much.
What are some of the meals you've been, what are the ingredients of some of the meals you've been making this week in particular?
Well, it's pretty much just throwing all the veggies, anti-inflammatory veggies that I can, like I ate all the things like, cauliflower, broccoli, onion, spinach, garlic.
Any sweet alternatives?
I have honey on rice cakes or Rivitas or, probably something like that, or probably have honey in my rolled oats too.
Yes, yeah.
So
could you make yourself like some healthy muesli bars? Obviously with your hands, but like if someone else prepped them.
Oh, look, there is a lot of like gluten-free or a lot of healthy types of, if you feel like making up those sorts of things.
Just for those healthy nibbly snacks, that are sweet, not savoury. Like you want to, especially if you've got a sweet tooth, you've got to get a good sweet alternative that's healthy.
Yeah, because you got a lot of because a lot of the gluten-free stuff you can buy, like Vickies and stuff like that, they got a lot of other stuff in them, like they got a lot of they got sugar and they got a lot of other stuff which aren't necessarily good.
Once if you made your own fruit roll-ups, do you reckon they would be like no added sugars or anything? Like I think you can make fruit roll-ups just out of fruit. Would that be a good snack, or is there something certain fruits you can't eat?
I've got a friend who's got the machine or the little oven thing that just dries your fruit out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dried peach is yummy.
Yeah.
Dried. Well, that was my favourite anyway. So it's quite sweet too, and there's nothing else in it.
Have you got a dehydrator?
No, I haven't. But
That's something you should get on the list.
Yes, I know a few people that have got them, and I really like it. So
maybe that's something I should buy for you.
and I don't think that would be hard either. Like, seems pretty easy, from what they're telling me.
Yeah, I've done a few. I've dehydrated apple before.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was good, yeah. But I added obviously sugar to my apple, which I probably shouldn't. But but obviously in your case you could do a whole bunch of different types of things that you could just cure that sweet tooth really, because I know a lot of people are probably like me and are addicted to their sugar in a
Yeah.
sense. So
Well, I found that I was thinking that if I probably get someone to help chop up
prep
all the
prep the
vegetables
food,
and then
yeah.
help do the prepping, and then I can cook up a lot of meals at once for the fortnight.
Yeah.
Because
That's
I
the way
cook up.
you like to do it. With your condition, obviously, you like to do a big prep day, put stuff in the freezer, put stuff in the fridge, and kind of have everything stocked up for like the week or for the fortnight,
Yeah.
basically. So you're not
And
making meals every single day. You
yeah,
prepped everything.
yeah, and it also, I mean, not only is it convenient, when you're not feeling well, but um, it's low budget. It costs a lot less with doing that way, and there's a lot less waste too, because whatever you're kind of making, you can put into the soup.
Yeah.
Because I make a vegetable soup, you can just use the whole lot of everything, and just chuck it all in. And you can make stir fries, and they're really yummy. Gee, a lot better than the ones you buy in the
Oh,
supermarket.
definitely. Those canned soups are disgusting. You have to be, even when you're like really hungry, you'll eat it, but it's not enjoyable.
Yeah, and it's the same with the pre-packed meals. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why they taste the way they do, because when I cook my stir fry meals, because actually that's another thing, I cook with mince, like chicken mince, mainly because chicken and fish is the two main things. Fish, chicken, and eggs. What most of my meals, it'll be egg and vegetables, or chicken
Would it be
and
better to go
vegetables.
full vegetarian, or is meat a good essential, like for the vegetarians and
I
vegans
just
out there?
it's just in moderation. Like,
Yeah.
but if you wanted to take out the meat, that's just as good. That's as good. You know what I mean?
So
I
the
think.
meat has no essential. It's
Oh,
not
red
bringing
meat
anything
does.
essential.
I've
Which meat?
I've heard that red meat does. I've read that red meat is not good, but
Ah,
chicken and fish is really good, obviously.
yeah.
So even if you keep the fish and take out the chicken, if you wanted, you can still have eggs and fish in your, because
Yeah.
lots of things you can do with eggs, and lots of things you can do with chicken, I suppose, as well. But like, I don't have a lot of meat in my little recipes I make, because I don't like a lot of meat. Minimum amount of meat. It's almost just for flavouring rather than eating it itself.
Yeah. Just
So
checking it doesn't bring anything essential to the diet, like any type of vitamins or well, obviously fish is good, but like if you are vegan or vegetarian but you don't have fish or eggs, pretty much no animal products. Obviously, you could cut out those things and still eat your anti-inflammatory vegetables and still be
oh
perfect
yeah, well,
on the right
it
track.
probably even up. I mean, it might be even better.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something I can think about down the track. But I think to begin with, I'll just start to, get healthier and kind of, because I notice as time goes on, I'm able to cut this out a bit and cut that out a bit. You start with sugar in your coffee, and then you end up, if you slowly wean yourself off, you can just decrease things over a period of time. I think it's okay. Like, I'm trying to say it's okay that I'm just starting off, with this, and then slowly as I decrease, I'm going to try and improve it all as I go along.
So you've been doing this new diet for a few weeks now?
Well, probably not the complete anti-inflammatory. I'm kind of starting that tomorrow.
Okay.
My like, I've just been cutting down on all. So I pretty much have kind of chucked out a lot of it, just to kind of.
And you've lost some weight by doing that as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I've already lost a couple of kilos, so that's a positive as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we're going to be, obviously Marsha's going to be keeping a food diary that we will have on the website for people to have a look at. It's just a food log, just if you want to get down to the particulars of what I guess she's been prepping or eating, just if you want to have a quick look there. So what foods have you heard is good for RA? Just foods that obviously I guess that might stand out to you?
Well, obviously, most of your fruit and vegetables are pretty
So
good.
most fruit and vegetables are safe. Anything that has any type of like, what are your anti-inflammatory foods? I guess I don't know if you
Yeah,
know
well,
them off
that's
by heart, but
well, obviously your eggs and fish, fruits and vegetables. Oh, some people say that you've got capsicum or tomatoes and stuff like that can irritate arthritis.
oh, okay.
So I've kind of tried to. I'm avoiding them just to, and some people say oranges are a bit as well. But you know, maybe what would irritate somebody might not irritate somebody else. That could be
Has the
hard to
doctors mentioned anything, like in
It's
particular?
hard to really prove because every time you've got one person saying, I've read, like so many different sites, one person saying yes, another person saying no, hasn't been proven. You know what I mean?
So you can only really guess off what you know, what foods have those type of anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
And then you just, have to obviously test and trial. And I guess, like you said, you don't really know what, especially if you're eating a variety, you can't really pinpoint what's doing the trick.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you'd probably have to, maybe you'd have to fast or, go complete, and then just try different foods. But gee, there's so many to choose from. That would be really hard to do.
And
I know
you're sticking to, like, obviously foods that people can just get down at the local supermarket. Nothing like fancy or, like you don't have to go pre-order something online or anything like
exactly. Like everything is just going to be, but that's the only way I can do it. Like with me, you know what I mean? Like it's just impractical to try and put myself under that pressure of having to order things and worry about whether I can get something or not.
Yeah, obviously if you have the money and you have a particular taste, you could probably get something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Something in, but I think what Marsha's goal is for every average person out there or people on Medicare who have this disease, they could, like, what kind of diet they can obtain or maintain, I guess, in the average lifestyle, which is very important because obviously we don't want to just be catering to the people who can pretty much buy their way out of anything.
Yeah, well, it's what food I like out of all the anti-inflammatory stuff, really. I mean, there's obviously would be there's a lot more foods out there, and even a lot more exotic foods that could be really good for you as well. That some other people might eat or have been used to eating, which they can could put in or take out whichever ones,
Apples good, or are they, because they're pretty.
No, apples are good, yeah. Apples are also good for heartburn and stuff like that, which I've often, had a lot of problems with acid reflux and everything, obviously because of medications and probably not always, the right diet, which, can cause that problem as well. Well, probably with tablets and with, probably not eating enough healthy foods can, cause a bit of havoc.
So what were we talking about the other day? Milk. We're going on about milk, and you said, like, obviously you have to get the milk out of your diet. And I was saying, is there any alternative?
Milk? There's lots of different other milks. There's almond milk and even maybe the lactose-free or the Zimmer milk.
We do so many nut milks now. Like
if you're a milk person, see, I'm not a big milk person, so I'm not going to really miss too much that out of my diet. I probably miss cheese, or certain types of cheeses aren't good. Like I'm going to be eating feta cheese, which is really healthy and really got a lot of health benefits, and it's good for your gut as well. So,
what are the gut health foods?
Well, obviously, and herbal teas is one of the things. Sorry, I was going to say too. Are really good. well, they're good for your stomach as well. So
Any
getting,
particular herbs or just like any particular herbal tea?
well, I like the ginger and lemon, and I drink the green tea. And the green tea is always very good to help you lose weight as well.
Ginger and lemon and green tea. Do
Well,
they taste all right? Or?
Ginger is good for your digestive system, obviously, and lemon's good as well. So, because I find and you don't want to have something with caffeine in it when you're having your meals, because just say if you want to drink, because obviously I'm trying to avoid soft drink, and obviously I drink a lot of water, but sometimes when it's cold, I like to have a warm beverage.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of having ordinary black tea or like ordinary tea or coffee, you know, ginger and lemon tea is very nice on you, very soothing on your stomach, and it kind of blends in with your food, so it's not interfering with your digestion. It's probably helping it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just something I'm swapping something for something else, but I do have it anyway in my diet normally, but I'm probably just going to be having it more often now.
So herbal teas are good for the gut health, and what are the other ones? Some other gut health information?
Well, of course, probiotics. Everyone will probably know about that. Probiotics, and I'm taking digestive enzymes or digestive aid, which has got digestive enzymes. Only because probably when you get older, because I've read a lot about this. When you get older, your body doesn't make as many digestive enzymes all the time. So,
yeah.
And that's a lot of reason for constipation as well. So that's, even young people, if they're not eating enough fruit and vegetables and fruit and stuff like that in their diet, which have got, a lot of your digestive enzymes in them, if they're not eating those sorts of foods, they will end up constipated and, they'll have that problem as well. So, and digestive enzymes, well, it's not just about, not getting constipated. They do so many other things in the body. I don't know, if anyone's ever looked them up. It's just, it's amazing what they do in the body. So, yeah. So that's why I'm going down that road, because that's really good. Because, rheumatoid arthritis is all to do with mostly a lot to do with the digestive system. So I thought that would help, maybe change things, everything that's going on in there somehow.
Well, that's at least slow it down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Keep it at bay somehow.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got your yogurt, Greek yogurt. Well, your plain yogurts, and you put your own fruit in it or something like that.
Oh yeah, yogurts. Well, are yogurts okay? Like.
Yeah. Well, you don't want the real sugary ones. You want the ones. Yeah.
That's another sweet thing you could kind of probably do up as a yogurt.
Well, I've been eating this little one. It's a probiotic one, and it's got sunflower seeds and linseed.
Sunflower plants are I've heard it, are really good for RA, especially the leaves. You make them into a tea.
Yeah. So I'm just going to.
Which is strange. You wouldn't think that plant would actually. It's just a strange plant to think that you wouldn't think you could eat a sunflower.
Well, the birds love that. So it's got to be something good.
Like, I knew you could eat the seeds, but not like the actual plant. Because you can eat like the sunflower petals and everything.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, I think you have to boil. Like, I imagine you'd have to boil it, but you can make they sell the leaves of the actual plant and the petals, and apparently it does have it's good for RA, I've heard. I've been trying to get Marsha to try it I've got a whole bunch of sunflower. I was going to bring you one down the other day, actually, when you popped over to my house. I was going to bring you down one of the sunflowers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll have to just give it a go. Like, maybe boil it up and put some in a little tea or something, or add a little bit of, I don't know, how you do the tea. I imagine you have to dry the herb and then add it. You don't actually eat the tea, though, do you? Like, I'm not a tea person, people, so I don't really know how tea works, but I don't think you ingest the leaves. I think it like boils in the tea bag and then just like, it, goes with the water.
Yeah, I'd say that would be. like I do it. I've done it with ginger. You got natural ginger, and you just chuck it in the hot water.
Yeah.
And just let it simmer. You just cut up the ginger in little pieces and
Yeah.
chuck it in, and just let it simmer, and you just sip the juice. Which, you know, well, if you like, I mean, I like ginger and lemon, so, you know.
I have to make myself like a mixture of little herbs and then just do like you know how you do like a health shot? You know how you get like a little tiny bottle of like, and it's like meant to be really healthy and it's full of all these, I don't know, it's probably full of all these nutrients and stuff, and people just like shot it like a shot glass.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of
Oh,
it? Like it's like because it tastes really foul, you know what I mean? But it's like really healthy for you, but you can't like drink it, so you just shot it really quick.
oh, righto.
It's
Okay.
it's called like a health shot. I'll have to do a little bit more research on it. But I imagine you could just put a whole bunch of like herbal ingredients that is good for RA in this little health shot that you could take every morning. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, I've looked into a little bit of herbs, but I'm really interested in getting, you know, a bit more into that because.
Yeah. It's been working for many years before us, and it'll be working for many years after. So.
Yeah.
And it's in a lot of the pharmaceutical medication. A lot of the herbal medication's just been made into a pharmaceutical medication. So it's well worth researching and obviously experimenting with that.
Yeah. So, yes, it's going to be a bit of a, you know.
A hard journey, but you're sticking with it. You've done your first 2 weeks, and you know, like I said, you haven't gone crazy hard at it yet, but you've obviously made enough of an effort to do a bit of a diet change and lose some weight and stuff. Oh yeah, what you're getting into? You haven't done too much exercise and yeah.
I've just been doing some stretches and stuff like that. Probably a little bit of walking around and stuff, but I've got to try and get back into their pool because that's probably about the main thing. I'm able to.
Unrelated, but with your hands, could you soak them in something like, you know how you get those gel pads? Like, is it worth like, I don't know what it's called, but you can like immerse your hands in this like nice gel. And I don't know whether they'll do anything for RA, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's something that you could do for your hands, I guess. But
yeah, but I know I've used ice, you know.
Oh, yeah.
In the summertime when my hands just swell and they, you know, ice works really well. But yeah, and ice works well for my feet as well. But it's better to do that in the wintertime.
True.
Well, I don't have the same problems with the severe swelling in the winter as what I do in the summer. So, you know, the summer knocks me about more than the winter, but it's a bit of a vicious circle. If I sit for too long in the winter as well, I just, you know, seize up and ache, you know, ache, you know.
Well, hopefully this diet change makes a difference in future, and hopefully we can see a little bit more results as we go along. That's all we have time for today, everybody. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you.